SCADA systems and ERP systems and all that, which also has to be brought and aggregated with a connected data environment. Once you have that, you will have the applications developed by whether it is Bentley or third party or even open source applications can be used to do what if and predictive analysis, to do resilience studies, and also all to achieve the sustainable development goals. And the results can be presented in the form of a virtual city or digital twin at the city scale. And that's how we are looking at the connected data, connected infrastructure with the power of a digital twin there. Now this is an example. Having said that, I have to show there's an example how we could able to bring all these different services integrated into a digital twin platform like this. What you are seeing here is basically a macro view of the projects. Different projects are infrastructure projects in a city, and each one will have its own project informations. Now we will start federating information from different sources. In this example, we are bringing reality models and mobile mapping data, etc., from the mobile mapping devices, as well as reality modeling systems. And then we can bring in the GIS systems and the services from the GIS systems in terms of zoning information, regulations, and various GIS analysis like this onto the same platform. So you will have all these informations coming in to do the holistic level of study when it comes to the city's problems and addressing those problems. Now here, each of these infrastructure assets has got a lot of documents and processes which are connected to it. We need to have access to them directly from here. And this is what exactly happening here on the screen. Now you'll have all this different documentation about each and every asset so that you don't need to search for this information or look for a different system to have this information. You can apply transparency to have underlying utilities. And also you can bring in the BIM model from the engineering division to have the complete design model which has been created and viewed or visualized with the surrounding at the city scale digital twin. Now you can also bring in the zoning regulation information and overlay that with the BIM model to see the impact as well as the clashes happening on that. And also any engineering project to take off, you have a lot of drawings in place. And these are created using CAD and engineering design tools, which also need to be integrated like this. So this is a simple example of how on a platform we can bring in these different sources of information together. So to summarize, a digital twin is all about bringing data from CAD, BIM, and also the GIS systems, and then also the real-time technologies like IoT sensors, UAVs, mobile mapping, machine learning, all put together. You can create the digital twin, which has got many capabilities and giving benefits in terms of advanced insights, predictive analytics, comprehensive design review. All this can be done on the digital twin. Now let's look at how digital twin is playing a role in each stages of the infrastructure lifecycle. As we all know, it all starts with the planning. Any infrastructure project starts with the plan at the first stage. So we'll see how the digital twin helping in the planning stage itself. Here's the city scale digital twin used for planning right away. And you can put your plan like this very quick and bring in your 3D models in place and visualize them quickly to see the impact with the surrounding. And not just that, once you create those plans, you can also see the underlying utilities to see the clashes. And also you will be able to use this type of commenting to collaborate with the stakeholders and team members and also public about the plan so that they can send the feedback back. So once the planning is done, you can jump onto the design, and rather than starting a design from a plain canvas, you can use the digital twin as a background to start your design because all your elevation information are in place in the digital twin. You can quickly put a design and do visualization and see the impact of that particular project which is going to come with the surrounding or existing atmosphere. Now coming to the next stage is the construction, where digital twin is playing a major role in terms of monitoring the construction progress. And not just that, you can link this with your schedule of that project and see the progress. And you can also compare that with the design and with the as-built. And that's how it allows you to monitor your construction which is happening. And the advantage is basically it is being viewed or visualized or being monitored in the background of the city scale digital twin, so that you know what is the impact it is creating with the surrounding of that. Once you construct that, of course, you have to enable that with the sensors and meters and all that, which brings a lot of information through the systems like SCADA, just like we talked before. And then that informations are used for operational purposes. Now here is an example of how we can bring in the IoT devices, integrate that, and make use of that for the operational purposes. This is a Microsoft building, the BIM model of Microsoft building at the 9th floor. Just because it's a BIM model, we can have the cross section. And then now I can enable the IoT devices, or sensors, which is actually taking reading from the power usages. So I click on the portion of that floor, I'll get to know the power consumptions and how it is being used, all that. So this is an example of how you can use it for operational purposes. Now, one of the, in the infrastructure industry, which is quite rapidly growing, is the telecom industry. And we also try to use this digital twin technology into the telecom industry. Here is an example of how it is being used at the survey level itself. Here, we use the reality modeling technology to do the survey, to capture the exact situation of the cell towers, like this, with all this different intelligent information about each of those assets and also its conditions. And so that all can be surveyed with a specific guideline which is exclusively prepared to capture the telecom towers. So once the towers are being captured, and you can use it for various planning purposes, where you can measure the distance and other sizes of each of these equipments, and also the changes in the antennas which is happening. And also you can remove these antennas for for the planning purposes, how much you can add. And if you want to add a new one and position that, what is the impact it is going to give? What is the capacity being occupied? All this information can directly be consumed from the digital twin. And you can also have the structural analysis done on the tower design, where tower design can be done, modeled, as well as structural analysis can be done for its capacity to withstand the wind and other natural situations there. The beauty is you can bring this model back into the digital twin and combine that with the reality model, which is, once it is built, you can combine that reality model along with this and do the comparative studies, what is being designed versus what is being built. Once it is done, you can use that for managing those towers, and that's one of the critical needs for the tower industry today. And we have been approached by many tower owners to have a solution, because these are remotely placed. Every time they cannot send people, and how do we get this done? And we come up with this digital twin based management solution for them, where you can bring the reality model with the design model and see what are the changes. And you can have sections of this, cut and have sections of these, and have detailed view of this, and see how the deviations are happening between the design as well as the as-built. Now you can also, because it is digital twin, which is highly enriched with a lot of information, you can apply artificial intelligence to automatically identify the various different equipments placed on this tower. In this case, all the blue color indicates the antennas and then the emitters, microwave emitters in the red color. And you can have, we have created a lot of libraries which allow you to automatically extract this information as far as the cell tower is concerned. So that's about the telecom industry, and I now would like to touch upon the water industry. And the digital twin can be effectively used in the water infrastructure and have enormous benefits, and also bring in a lot of efficiency in operating that. Of course, the digital twin can be used in the capital planning and improvement, operations and maintenance, and also the resilience and response systems. As far as the water infrastructure is concerned. On the planning level, you can use it for forecasting, prioritize improvements, and maximize asset lifecycle, which eventually bring in or helping the engineers to narrow down the funding gap, which means more accurate design, more accurate planning, so that the funding gap can be achieved. And in terms of operation maintenance, you will be able to reduce the water loss and also the energy cost. And on the resilience and response, you could do proactive avoidance, and quicker and more effective response can be done with the use of digital twin in the water. Now, what is critical here is basically one of the critical aspects is once you have the digital twin, you will be able to actually connect that with the IoT-based devices. In this example, when it comes to the water systems, you have SCADA systems in place, which is working and bringing a lot of valuable information about the system and its functioning. But what is missing in that system is like the hydraulic model. So in a digital twin scenario, we are trying to combine the SCADA system with the hydraulic model to understand the dynamics in the system. So an integrated system will provide you real-time modeling, response to emergencies and events. You can plan future interventions and also predict network conditions so that you can avoid any downtime or minimize the downtime. And this is so that the outcome will be like minimizing the non-revenue water, optimize operational cost, and respond to emergencies quickly or on time. Now, there's an example of a water system in place, which is being colored. The different nodes are being colored based on different values, hydraulic values it has got. In this case, the different pressure being shown in different colors. And also, if you start selecting or clicking on any of these nodes, which will also provide you with more details in terms of its label, demand, SGL, and pressure, all these different informations. And also, it will give you a profiling in terms of how it is performing at different times in the water system. So once you have that, the authority should have a dashboard which talks about, a simplified dashboard which talks about the overall the input volume and how much is the authorized consumption and how much is the water loss. And again, you can go ahead to find out how much is of them is the authorized build consumption, and whatever how much is the authorized unbilled consumption, and find out apparent losses and real losses, so that you will come out with how much is the revenue-based water and non-revenue water. So this will give a clear picture time to time, and also lead you to take the appropriate steps to mitigate and reduce this non-revenue portion of the water. You can also have the 3D visualization to see the different system or properties of these water systems. In this example, different color has been given based on the flow across the network system depicted, across the city. You'll have a holistic view of how your system is performing in terms of flow. So to come back and summarize on a digital reality where you can combine existing reality with the digital models, and you can have engineering precision, and it is all cloud enabled and scalable. And I keep talking about the cloud because all this is on cloud. We are with the Microsoft Azure cloud, all this being hosted on Microsoft Azure cloud, and William will be giving more details on the cloud and its ability and its performance and security, all that, following to me. On a project level, digital twin, where you will have real-time visibility for project performance. You can gather information from multiple sources, and of course you can do benchmarking and evaluate different scenarios to come over to the most optimal design for this particular project which you are planning. Digital twin also helps you in the performance of these assets, where you can mash up with digital context and models, do machine learning with the data analytics, and you can combine that with IoT and sensors to do informed decisions. And you can also use digital twins for remote level inspection. Here you can use drones to do the remote inspections, reduce risk and improve safety for inspectors. You can mash up with engineering information, results in more reliable assessment of the existing situation. You can also use digital twin at the city scale to do simulation of your resilient situations or scenarios like flood, earthquakes, and evacuation. And you can also do the disaster planning and mitigation scenarios. This is an example from one of our users. This is a project done by Shanghai Investigation Design and Research Institute, where they have done a lot of digitalization in Zhejiang Smart Water Management Platform, where they could bring in the reality model with the BIM model and combine that together, and where they could able to achieve a lot of reduction in the design errors to the tune of 80%, and they could able to save more than 800 days in the design and verification process, and of course, able to save a lot of money in terms of design cost. And that's a classic example how digital twin is helping the designers and engineers and planners. So this is a summary where again, city as a digital twin will be able to create and visualize the digital twin at a city scale. You can use it for model, analyze, simulate to improve performance and predict outcomes, and also support smart city initiatives with the digital city operations. Thank you.
Hey, thanks, Joseph. I hope you guys can see my screen. So good day to all. I noticed there's we have some people who attended the last session, so this will be kind of a repeat. I'll hopefully have some time to add on new stuff. But thank you all for spending a valuable time with us, and all my sincere thanks to my esteemed strategic global partner, Bentley Systems, for this opportunity to present to you. I guess many of you will always wonder what's Microsoft doing in this presentation like that, right? Where people are always equating Microsoft as selling operating systems or productivity software. But those times, while it's still obviously a big chunk of our business, we have also in the last few years be the platform of choice for cloud for digital transformation as the convergence of IT and OT accelerates today, especially during the pandemic. We have become the trusted platform for transformation. Our mission is to really empower everyone and every organization on the planet to achieve more. And with this, many companies and partners like Bentley look to us to be the trusted platform to help them and to enable the customers to further digital transform their business. I would say Microsoft Cloud is the biggest cloud today. When you look at the cloud, it's not just the Microsoft that you know of, Office or Azure, but LinkedIn, our Dynamics, which is our ERP software, our Power Automate, Power Platform, GitHub, everything runs on what we call the Microsoft Cloud. And the binding pillar amongst all these is really the security, compliance, and identity, right? Which is the Microsoft AD that binds all of them together. For Azure, the statement of how we want to feel about Azure, and we want to invent with purpose on how we deliver Azure to our partners and to you. And we do that in some key ways. And during this presentation, I will talk about some of these ways. I think some of you may have seen this. We have had a lot of good announcements over the past few months that talks about Azure. And this was something that I just want to quickly show about a Goldman Sachs survey of the 100 global CIOs today, predicting which cloud platform will be the most popular. But truth be told, it really doesn't matter, right? We have gone past the stage of who is better and so on and so forth. It's which one, the consumer is the one, the customers are the one to benefit out of this, right? It's really who helps the customer transform their business is the ultimate winner. So, 4 pillars on how we think about inventing a purpose for Azure to you. I'll just focus on the 2 key ones today, which is just being future ready, which is really having technology today that meets your needs, not just today, but also tomorrow. The cloud is moving really fast, and I'm sure that all of us know this. It's about meeting new capabilities now and investing in those that's upcoming. And my next slide, which is just to further expand the future ready part, Azure can help you innovate already, if you don't know by now. The innovation parts for Horizon 3, which is upcoming, we already are offering quantum services ranging from pre-built solutions and software and hardware to developers and customers, and access some of the most competitive quantum offerings to the market. Horizon 2, which is really, which we are slowly going to invest a lot more, already started to invest, obviously, is you see AI and mixed reality capabilities today. We offer many features across AI and MR. One of them will be Hololens, and our partners, Bentley as well, also has software that utilizes Hololens, we call it HL2, to deliver a fantastic experience to you, and that's Synchro 4D, which introduces an element of time into a construction software. So there are, if you haven't seen this, some of the videos that I have, I encourage you to reach out to Joseph for that. It was really state of the art before. They explore our cutting edge AR technologies, and it's fantastic. It's a lot better. And then of course Horizon 1, which is IoT, digital twin, so on and so forth. As by far, we have already invested $5 billion in IoT to add new services and features for customers like you. And based on your pace of innovation, Bentley iTwin services on digital twins, which Raj talked about, is actually one of the key examples. So, and we have 1,000 over capabilities. I will not spend this time to talk about this. This is not a platform for this. This is really an eyesore and a very busy slide, but this is really 1/8 of a large B4 size paper of what we can offer on the Azure platform services. Now back to digital twins. Raj spoke about this. We are the platform, right? Bentley Systems iTwin is the solution, and we just recently published a case study PR just in late November on Busan in Korea. I'm sure some of you will have known that. I don't know whether we have time to show the video. I doubt that we have time, but I urge you all to go to this site, aka.ms Busan ADT, which stands for Azure Digital Twins. And you can see the customer talking about the combination of Azure Digital Twins as a platform, Bentley iTwins digital visualization model as a solution, and driving wins with them to combine all this to monitor the performance and energy production of a wind farm off the coast of Korea. And with the digital representation of every wind turbine, I think this was one of the topics that wasn't talked about. I know we talked about water and the 5G towers. The wind turbine was also one of the key wins that we were both heavily involved in. Now Doosan can identify and diagnose problem areas, ensuring higher equipment uptime and energy production, reducing costs and obviously improving the design of its next generation wind turbines. Okay, there's a nice key video in the slide. I urge you guys to go take a look. Okay, and the pillar, the last but not the most least pillar is the one of trust, right? And that's the key on Azure that I think many people come to Microsoft for that. We have been in enterprise for a long time, and we have never known to be competing with our customers, with our partners. We're empowering all of them to do more. So when it comes to trust, there's a few key elements of it. Obviously, a secure foundation and global scale is very important. We think about global foundation, we think about physical server environment, people having to pass through multiple physical layers of security, so they don't bring out stuff, they don't steal data. Operational security, which is what we do to continually test our services, making sure that we can find bugs faster than anyone else can. With a big focus on the red team, blue team exercises. Some people call them black hat, white hat exercises, which is really to find out where the gaps are and mend them before anyone else can. Another example of operational excellence is around restricted access. When our engineers need elevator access, so they can do maintenance on the service, so that they can investigate a support issue. They have only access to the specific resource for the specific amount of time. And that's it. They just can go in, do their work, and then get out. So we made a lot of investments from that area. And of course, customer controls are a huge important part of this, right? It's something we talked about a lot as well to our customers about shared responsibility, which I will touch base on this slightly later. And of course, network and distributed denial of service protection, DDoS, is in place for all these services as well. When it comes to compliance, right, we are global leading. We have 92 compliance offerings ranging from global that you know of, ISO, SOC, CSA, to national, US government, FedRAM, Singapore MTCS, which is by the idea of before, and tons of all these government, industry, and even regional compliant offerings. And these offerings are huge investments. Just one ISO, it costs close to $1 billion just to maintain this certification every year. So think about all these compliances. We are helping our partners like Bentley, which is obviously the beneficiary is you, the customer. Think of you not having to do this, but giving it to where the experts are and letting them do this. And of course, one thing about trust is about being reliable, and that's so important today, right? I think most of you will have heard of all these outages that happened. One that just happened just yesterday. Look, I'm not here to tell you that we are lesser vulnerable. Each one of us are, but it's how fast we bounce back, right? So each Microsoft, we also have our lightning strike sometimes. But it's all being about reliable. How fast do we recover? How much data do you recover back? Most of this, you have to do this on your own if you don't put it to where the experts are at the cloud. So we have a very reliable infrastructure, fully certified. We are the largest open source contributor as well. Not many people know that. We have purpose-built infrastructure for asset certified by SAP, by VMware, Oracle, and so on, IBM, to make sure that we are building mission-critical infrastructure that can run your systems. Okay. We also obviously offer resiliency and SLA classes. One single VM today, we're the only ones that can still offer 3 nines for single VM protection. So this is something that it's unheard of in the industry. And if you think about you having to do this yourself, that is a set of non-functional aspects of the business that you think to invest in. So I would suggest that most customers actually today are really just going to focus on their core business and leave the non-functional ones to the experts. And a journey to the cloud, it can be a long journey. People start out by moving whatever they have to the cloud. Obviously, that is to move from the CAPEX to OPEX level. Innovation really comes in when you start thinking about the higher value-added services of running serverless, low-code, no-code software as a service. Today, if you're running Office 365, that is an example of a SaaS platform we are offering to you, right? We offer this to you. We maintain the OneDrive. Everything is done by Microsoft. Think of Bentley's, iTwins, ProjectWise, and all their solutions having that approach as well. we are giving the platform to do what you do, right? And all the operational tasks, the non-functional tasks of it, leave it to Bentley to manage and Microsoft to host and manage the infrastructure. Last but not least, like I mentioned, cloud services security is a shared responsibility. Don't let anyone else tell you otherwise, right? At the end of the day, whether you're doing on-prem, which is you take care of every single thing, to the other right spectrum, which is to rent software as a service, there still is the administration parts. Which of your user can access what? And when the users leave, how do you make sure that when they leave, they are gracefully exited from the app so they can't steal data? So there's still bound to be a bit of a shared responsibility even when you move to the SaaS model, and that's what I wanted you guys to kind of take note about. Okay, so I hope this gives you some clarity and peace of mind and the confidence that you're in good hands with Microsoft in choosing Azure as your cloud. And just like what the CIO's Goldman Sachs poll earlier, Bentley and more than 6,000 partners worldwide choose and trust Azure as their preferred cloud. And many of them actually choose it as their only cloud. Trust is the key factor here. When you're running a business, you want to be sure that these things are all in good hands. They are reliable, they are resilient. And this is an important pillar that Microsoft built and abide by. We invest heavily in it, we invest ahead of the curve, and we spend no change in maintaining what we have. Hence, we are a trusted partner by many enterprises and governments all over the world. Now with that, I think I have obviously taken more of my time. I will give the floor back to